G'day, good evening. Matt here with tutorial number 15. This is spreadsheet revision 5, where we're going to look at the revised income tab. So some major changes on the income tab about how we input the data, and I'm going to show you how to fill that in this tutorial. So we'll start off with the dashboard. We can see that we've got Bruce and Betty in here, but we've got 0 figures in for the income status and 0 figures for account status. And those are what we're going to fill in this tutorial. So on the input steps, some minor changes on the input steps on the top banner. I've put in some shortcuts for you so that you can click on each one of these symbols here, go straight to Facebook group or my YouTube channel, or send me an email. Those are all hyperlinked. And then we've got these new input steps for the income tab. So we've got quite a few in here because this is the major change to the revision. So please take some time to read these. We're going to go through those now. So we've got Bruce and we've got Betty, our test subjects, and then we've got type of income. So we can say that Bruce was fixed income as per previous and paid monthly. And then we've got Betty, but now we can say Betty has got a variable income and we can say that she is paid fortnightly. These don't really do anything, but what they do is they fix you on what you want to be adding in lower down. So that's why I put those in. And then you've got your month that you're selecting, January, February, March through there. What I do is I save the spreadsheet each month. So I'll put a suffix on the end of it and I'll say, this is Barefoot Spreadsheet, Halliwell, January 2020. You might want to do that as well. And then what you will do is each one of these payment periods will be fixed. If you don't do that, then what you'll be doing is changing this payment period each time. But that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to sum up each of the payment periods and then we're going to fix them in per month down here, across here in the payment summary table. So let's say Bruce gets paid on week 3 of the month and he gets paid a gross of $5,000. Out of that gross of $5,000 is going to be paying something like 400 in superannuation, and then we've got here a salary sacrifice super, so we can do this as well. So let's say we're giving $100 to salary sacrifice super, and then it's got an option as well to salary sacrifice other. So let's put $50 in there, and let's say Bruce has the ability to salary sacrifice into his mortgage of $50 every month. Take some tax off, so we'll say 800 for tax, and then we'll say 300 for Medicare levy. So this gives Bruce his net after deductions, but then we've also got some non-taxable income here. So we're going to put Bruce in as a negative non-taxable income. Let's say he pays child support to a previous relationship, and that is minus 200. So $200 comes out. So Bruce's net income per month is 3,150. So what we're going to do now is we're going to transfer these figures down here and we're going to fix them in for the month of January. You're going to do this each month. So you're going to do the top section each month and then you're going to transfer those figures down. So we've got 400, 100, and then we're salary sacrificing 50, tax 800, 300, and then non-taxable income minus 200. So there we go. So that's Bruce. Bruce's figures gone in. So we've got Bruce's salary put into our spreadsheet now, and he's got a net income of 3,150, sorry. And then we've got Betty, earner 2. We said Betty was getting paid fortnightly. So let's say Betty gets paid on week 2 and week 4. And we can say on week 2 she was paid 2,000 gross, superannuation, let's say 200. Salary sacrifice, and we'll say Betty's salary sacrifice is 100. And then no others. For the tax, we'll say 400. Medicare levy, 250. And then we'll say under Betty, we'll say that Betty's got a rental income. So we can say Betty's getting 250 every fortnight from the rental income as non-taxable. So Betty's going to pay herself out of that portion, the rent. She gets $250 and put a portion away to pay the tax at the end of the year. So we can say we'll get paid week 2 and then week 4 as well. I've just copied those across, but we can say Betty gets paid on week 4. She gets paid 3,000. We'll change that to 300 of superannuation. Salary sacrifice 125, and then a bit of tax on top. Yeah, a bit more Medicare levy, but the same on the rent. So we can say now that we've got 2 different paying weeks, 2 variable weeks for Betty, but we've got a monthly total at the end, and that's the monthly total that we're going to transfer down. So we've got 5,000, sorry, and then we've got 500 super, 225 per month on salary sacrifice. So paid 815 tax this month, and then 530 in Medicare levy and 500 in non-taxable income. So there we have Betty with her monthly income for January of 3,395. So you just proceed each month to fill these in on your weekly pays, and if you do some overtime on week 3, you can put that in and it will sum it up for the month, similar any overtime in week 1. And then each month you're going to put in your February month and then your March totals and the April totals, and those will get transferred through to the dashboard. Down at the bottom, what we've got is we've got our previous calculator for fixed incomes. So you don't need this anymore. No information comes from this into the dashboard or into the accounts, but you can still use it here to check what you're being paid, what your estimated tax should be, Medicare levy. So I've just left those in at the bottom of the sheet. So let's have a look at what that's done to the dashboard. So we can see the figures have just jumped in now for Bruce and Betty. And we've got our January totals in there. So in January we've earned 10,000 gross and 6,545 net. Just our accounts, we've just got some blanks in the accounts, so I'll just show you the expenditure tab. I've moved the percentages all onto the expenditure tab now for this revision. So let's just type in 60, 10, 10, 20 for barefoot. So that's populated all our monthlies. Now back to the dashboard, we can see all those have jumped in now into our monthly budgets. So that's it for this tutorial. I'll see you on tutorial number 16, where we'll take a closer look at the new expenditure tab. See you then.